Good morning. It's Monday morning, and it's been a while since I've done a chronic illness vlog, so I thought it was about time. I am seeing in the camera that I've got really big bags under my eyes this morning. I just woke up too early and couldn't really get back to sleep fully, so yeah, a little bit tired today. Yesterday was a pretty high exertion day. It was beautiful here in the Northeast. It was 65 and sunny out yesterday. My son and his girlfriend were visiting, and they were working on cleaning out his childhood room, which is long overdue. And so my husband and I went outside and we're trying to clean up the gardens for spring, doing a little yard work. You know, just gathering up all the dead stuff from last year. And my husband, of course, did all the hard work, the hauling to the back and stuff like that. But, you know, when I help out with the yard work, I'm usually kneeling or sitting. I wear my heart rate monitor. But it was really hard work. And I could feel it at the end of the day. Everything hurt. Yeah, ironically, you know, I am feeling the best I have felt in years in terms of my chronic illness. I'm just doing really, really well. And I explained why in my last two videos, the one on the carnivore diet and my travel vlog. But I will link to those up here, wherever it goes in the finished video, and also in the notes down below the video. So if you want to look back on that. But the short story is I spent all last year working with my doctor to normalize my thyroid function, which apparently was way off. And when it did take more than a year, really. But by December, you know, that was in pretty good shape. I need to get retested. I haven't done that yet. And then the other thing, so that was probably, I don't know, that was a big part of it. But then the other part was finally at the very end of the year and into the new year, I got really strict with my diet, because nothing else was working to get yeast overgrowth under control. A very common issue in people with ME/CFS and Lyme and long COVID. It's the immune dysfunction that just allows the yeast to go crazy. And so I had tried everything last year, and it wasn't until the end of the year I realized nothing was working and I still had yeast overgrowth. The very strict diet has done the trick. So these first 2 months of 2024, which sounds like science fiction still to me, have been amazing. I have been out and about, sometimes every day of the week. I've been walking almost every day. I've been getting together with friends, which has been amazing after months of isolation, stuck on the couch here in the house. So I've been feeling great. But what I started to say is, ironically, as good as I'm feeling, and my stamina is amazing, I still really haven't had a full-on overexertion crash since December. But I've got all these pain issues that are flaring up. I've got tendonitis, tennis elbow. No idea where that came from, but it's been painful for several months. I've seen my orthostatic manipulation doctor a couple of times this year already. He's great, and he's the one that suggested the band, and that is actually really helping. And then I've got a couple of spots, old trouble spots, a trigger point over my right shoulder blade and a little trigger point up here too. And for some reason, they're all really badly flared up. So I'm feeling great. I've got energy. I'm not crashing. but I am dealing with some pain issues. So I've been going to massage therapy. I've been seeing the orthopedic manipulation doctor, using a lot of heat packs, and yesterday after the weeding, ice packs. Yeah, so I'm trying to deal with that, but generally I'm doing really well. It's supposed to be another warm day out today, although I don't know if you can see, but nah, it's just gonna wait out because it's so bright out there. It is cloudy, so not the nice sunshine that we had yesterday, but I'm alone in the house, which I really enjoy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's because of my illness, that I just really, really need that quiet solitude once in a while. I don't know, but I love being in the house alone. And this was a really busy weekend. We loved having our son and his girlfriend here. Just a delight. And we had a great time. And my younger son was home Saturday night, so we had a family dinner. We played game together. You know, it was really, really nice. We had lots of relaxed time with my older son and his girlfriend, just hanging out and talking and catching up. We hadn't seen them since Christmas. So it was all really nice, but it's also really nice just to enjoy the quiet. So I'm gonna put in a load of laundry, get my breakfast going. I got a really late start this morning. Because I've lost so much weight, I've been like trying to find clothes that fit in my own closet. And yeah, I did make a discovery this morning. I am back to being a shirt tucked in person all of a sudden, I guess. Everything was looking really baggy on me. And then, you know, I pulled an old belt out of my closet and started tucking my shirts in, and I realized, yeah, there are still some shirts that fit in my closet, but they really need to be tucked in. So yeah, it's been about 20 years of being a shirt out person, so this is an adjustment, and I definitely need to do some shopping and get some things that actually fit. But I guess that's a good problem to have, and I'm feeling well enough that I can manage some shopping. So all good news there. I start every day with glutathione nasal spray. Glutathione is really, really important with our disease. Our bodies don't make enough of it. You can do injections, but they're pretty painful. The nasal spray works great. And today's a B12 day. I alternate hydroxy B12 and methyl B12. All of this comes from a compounding pharmacy. So I alternate the Mexi and hydroxy version, the methyl and hydroxy versions, and I self-inject every other day. These are not painful shots because we use subcutaneous shots. You really don't need intramuscular for B12. The little tiny needles that do the just under the skin shots work great. They're actually insulin needles, and it helps me so much, and my son too. B12, if you're not taking it yet, it is so, so, so important. And you really need either injections or IV. The oral B12 doesn't work very well, pills, because your stomach acid destroys it before it can get into your bloodstream. And Tuesday now, and as you can see, it is a nasty, rainy, gloomy day. It's supposed to be like this for the next 3 days. So, but I did have some things I needed to do, so I am out and about today, running some errands. I've been to the drugstore. It's Senior Tuesday at Walgreens, and stopped at our little local natural food store. It's kind of funny because I used to go in there and get like all produce, and now I'm going in there and getting all meat. They have a wonderful selection of uncured items like uncured Canadian bacon, uncured ham, both of which are really delicious. Uncured Polish sausage, which we love. That's dinner tonight. I did get ahead of cabbage, so I did get one vegetable, but otherwise my bag was all meat. So yeah, still doing the diet, but it's still going really well. And just stopped at the library, and now I'm on my way over to visit my book buddy. Picked up a book for her that she needs for her book group. This is a program that the library does. She's an older woman who can't drive anymore, so I bring her books from the library. But also, over the last few years, we've become friends, so I always enjoy my visits with her. And I'm running a little late, so gotta go. Another rainy day, and I'm out again. Actually went shopping this morning. Well, it's afternoon now. It took quite a while. This was kind of a massive, as I mentioned earlier, I've lost a lot of weight. One of the things I was really desperate for is some new bras. Even before I lost the weight, I needed some. Mine are really old. My best one is all sewn up in different places. I replaced the underwires. I mean, yeah, they're old. It's so frustrating. I mean, bra shopping is like, it's one of the worst things. Jeans shopping is difficult, and bathing suit shopping is very difficult, but bra shopping, I think, is the worst. And one of the frustrating things is when you finally find one that fits and that's comfortable and that you're happy with, the next time you go back, they no longer have that style. Which is why I've been like sewing up this old one and just keeping it going. But with the weight loss, none of my bras were fitting right. So this was a massive undertaking. I was in Kohl's. I've been in there for 2 hours. Now, I admit, I wasted the first like 20 minutes just doing regular shopping, and I did find, because everything's too big on me now. So I got one pair of jeans, which is a huge win, and a couple of shirts, so that's great. And a couple of flannel shirts on sale, clearance, for like $10 each, so that was really good. But then I had to go to the dreaded bra department. And I've been seeing this transition, but now it's like complete. The entire bra department now is those molded cups. I mean, it looks like the whole bra department is filled with invisible women. And I really don't like those. So I was struggling. Luckily, Kohl's does have wonderful woman on staff who's got expertise as a bra fitter, and she helped me out. I did actually buy some with the molded cups. Still not loving them, but she helped me find some that fit and find what my new size is. So that was really helpful. But now it's 2 o'clock. My husband, I'm sure, is starving. So I'm gonna head home and have some lunch and a well-deserved nap. Back home, I'm in my recliner. But actually, I've been sitting up all morning. I showered this morning. After breakfast, I recorded a book video, and then I had, it turned out like to be about an hour and 15-minute meeting with our functional medicine specialist. Now, luckily it was on Zoom, so I could just stay home, but I've been sitting up at the dining room table. It was a Zoom meeting, so yeah, my brain is kind of full right now. We were reviewing the results of a comprehensive GI test that I did at the beginning of the year. It's called Gut Zoomer. It's through Vibrant Wellness. And this is the second time I've done it, so it was a follow-up. And it's a lot of it is really technical and not an area that I really understand all that well. But luckily, you know, our specialist is an expert in this. That's why we use her. So lots of interesting insights. I'm taking loads of probiotics because of the yeast overgrowth problems, but it turns out I'm not necessarily taking the right ones. So she switched some of my probiotics based on the test results. I've got several bad bacteria in my GI tract. To be clear, I don't have any symptoms other than the yeast overgrowth. I don't have any GI symptoms per se. But 75% of your immune system is in your gut. What happens in your gut affects your mitochondria, the little energy engines that live in your cells. So what happens in your gut is really important to your whole body. It affects your brain and neurological stuff. So even though I don't have GI symptoms, it's important, to get this stuff normalized as much as possible. So adding some different kinds of probiotics. She asked at one point what brand of something I was taking, and I went and got my giant box out of our cupboard, and we were on Zoom so she could see me, and showed her, these are all the pills that I take every day. So she understood I really didn't want to add anything new. So mostly just replace things. There were a couple of things that came out low, even though I take them every day. And so she wants to just switch the brand to one that she thinks is more effective. And yeah, just trying to tackle those nasty bacteria and get the right combination of good bacteria. So going to work on that. And yeah, it was a good meeting. Learned a lot. And now my husband just ran out for a couple minutes to get something for lunch, but we're going to have lunch and then nap time at a more reasonable time. So by the time I got home and we had lunch and I took my nap, I got up from my nap and it was already 5 o'clock. So that was pretty much the day. So I was a little tired that last night, but not bad. I'm still holding up really well. But today it's only 1 o'clock. This is more in line with my normal routine. So that should help. I'll have some productive time this afternoon after my nap when I'm feeling good. So that's good. I meant to record earlier, but it's just been a busy day. I had a nice day to myself today. It's been a really busy week, as you've seen, and I haven't had a lot of time for writing. In fact, I still haven't done a blog post for my chronic illness blogs. I am hoping to do a short one tonight. But earlier today, I was able to sit down and really do some writing I've been meaning to, working on an essay for a magazine, to pitch to a magazine. So that was good. It's cloudy now, but it was a beautiful day. The sun finally came out. We had blue sky and everything is blooming and budding. I'll share some pictures here. So, so a good day. I'm tired. You can probably see that in my eyes, but I did just get up from my nap too, a long nap, because I woke up too early again this morning. I woke up at about 6:30. I sort of lightly dozed, but didn't really fall solidly back to sleep. So I was pretty tired. So I took a 90-minute nap. So I'm ready for the weekend for sure. We're gonna order takeout tonight, which is great. Not that it's one upside of this diet. There really is not much cooking to do. I mean, most nights we pick a meat and my husband goes outside to grill it. We cook, we'll put a small serving of vegetables in a pot to steam for him, which I'll have a few bites of, and that's it. That is dinner. So it's been greatly simplified. We did cook something a little more intricate last night, a ground beef dish with African spices that's really delicious. But tonight we're ordering in, and then kind of celebrate it being Friday. And then we've got friends coming for dinner tomorrow night. So this was tricky, trying to figure out what to make that would be good for gas, but not too much non-meat stuff for me. So I've got I don't know if it's Spanish or Mexican. It's a beef dish called ropa vieja, which translates to old clothes. You make it with flank steak cooked slowly, in broth and some vegetables like onions and peppers and garlic, so that it has green olives in it, and so the meat just gets really, really tender and shreds, which is why they call it old clothes. So hopefully that'll turn out good, and we're looking forward to seeing our friends who we haven't seen in a while. And that's, yeah, I'll check back in at the end of the weekend. It's Sunday. I forgot to take that out. We had heavy rain yesterday. Still have some puddles around. The sun is out today, sort of. The sky is blue, but it is very windy and only in the 40s. So I came out to do a little yard work, trying to work a little at a time on cleaning up the garden for spring. I did this one last Sunday, and it's ready. Everything, you can see the snowdrops have bloomed. And there's a tiny couple of crocuses there, but it hasn't been warm enough for them to actually open. But today I was out, and we've got a big bed that's along the road and right next to our neighbor's yard, and it's the worst. I mean, all of our garden beds have been neglected, mainly due to the fact that I can't do much, and my husband really hates yard work. He's retired now, so I'm trying to encourage him to do a little more, but he and my son are out golfing today. We were supposed to work on the yard, but he never passes up a chance to golf with our son. And I know they're having a great time, so that's good. So I just did a little bit of work myself. That bed out there by the road is a real mess. I mean, vines and weeds and little trees. I couldn't do much on my own, but a few springs ago, I planted some native plants, some new flowers, and so I cleared around those, and I've got a lilac tree out there that is very healthy, so I cleared around that, made sure there weren't any vines getting ready to creep up it. That's a big problem around here. So I got a little bit done, and it is time to have lunch and a nap. I'm still feeling good, obviously. It is cold today, but I am just so happy to be outside and able to be active and productive and doing something. We had a wonderful time with our friends last night for dinner. My sugar-free paleo/keto dessert did not turn out that well. No surprise there, probably. I made lemon bars, and for some reason the top overcooked. Now my husband said they tasted fine, because I was worried because I had to use sugar substitute, but he said they tasted fine, but they looked terrible, and the top was just a little dried out. But we had a delicious dinner, and really enjoyed catching up with our friends for a few hours and talking and laughing and all that. Okay, so I am enjoying some quiet Sunday time to myself, and it's time to have some lunch, probably leftovers, even though we're having those for dinner too. The options are fairly limited on this diet, but yeah, I'll have some leftovers, and since my husband's out golfing, I get to watch one of my shows for lunchtime.